Hello and welcome to another episode of Honest to a Malt with myself, Duncan Donuts, and Mike, aka Two-Foods. And this week we've got a special guest. It's the first time we've had an MBE on the pod. That's right, yeah. United fan, TalkSport Drive, 4 to 7 with Darren Bent every day, certainly Monday to Friday anyway. He once got buff with Jamie Feakston. He's got a lovely barnet. He's a top bins fella. Welcome, Andy Goldstein.
Hello, how are you?
Very good. Thanks for coming on.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for asking. I'd just like to point out that when you say he's got an MBE, I have, but I won it off Steve Davis in a game of 9-ball pool.
Yeah.
That's genuine, by the way. I didn't actually go to the Palace and get 9.
We know, yeah.
But I have got one.
Save yourself a wasted afternoon out. You just got the prize, nothing else.
I have got the MBE after my name.
I fucking love it. I didn't know that.
I saw it on Twitter, yeah. So, how did you get into whiskey then, Andy?
Well, I never really liked whiskey up until about 7 years ago. I just couldn't stand not just the taste of it, but the smell of it, because it's an acquired taste, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't smoke cigarettes, but I'm guessing when you start off smoking cigarettes, you despise it and then you just keep going. Yeah. And all of a sudden one day you go, right, I'm addicted to it now. And with whiskey, I was never a fan of it until I've been married now for 18 years. And I've been with my wife for probably 23 or 24 years. And her dad is a big whiskey fan. And every Christmas, he would get out a really expensive bottle of whiskey and put it on the table and go, there you go, son, me and you. And I go, yeah, I don't like whiskey. And they go, oh yeah, I forgot, more for me. And drink this really expensive bottle of whiskey. Yeah. So when I was doing the evening show on TalkSport, the sports bar, like 10 p.m. to 1. Yeah. One afternoon I was in London and there's this big whiskey shop there and I just wandered in and it just looked magnificent. All these different whiskies, like hundreds of 100. And I got chatting to someone in there. I said, look, here's the deal. I need to like whiskey, but I don't like it. And they're like, why is that? And so I told them the story. And so she gave me a bottle of Dalwhinnie. And she said, right, what you do is when you get home, just take a tiny shot of it, put it in your mouth, just get your palate used to it. Don't necessarily swallow it, but just
a tiny bit.
A tiny bit to just get used to it. And the smell opened the bottle and I was like, oh, this is vile. And then so that night I got home and I was like, I held my nose and I didn't like it. Next night. And then by night 9, it was a Wednesday and I was driving
a war of attrition sort of thing.
Yeah. And I was driving home and I thought,
fuck me, I'm quick.
I can't see anything. And I thought, I really fancy a whiskey. And I got in and I poured a whiskey and I necked it or drank it slowly. And then that was it. And then that Christmas, my father-in-law put a bottle of whiskey out in front of me. He went, there you go, me and you. It was like, I can't remember what, it was like £300-400 bottle. And I was like, all right.
Happy days.
What? Yeah. And I was like, pour it away.
Yeah.
And he poured me a glass and I had some. And I had quite a lot of it. And that was the last Christmas he ever brought out a really decent bottle of whiskey.
I fucking love it.
Yeah.
That is like a victory. Absolutely.
Yeah. So since then he's put cheap stuff out now, you don't drink it. That's what you're saying.
What he does, he waits for me to bring a bottle back. But it got quite bad. I'll be like, fucking hell, I can't wait to have a glass tonight. And it got to a stage where I was drinking about a bottle of whiskey a week.
Oof.
Because I just couldn't get enough of it. It's just beautiful. Because I'd get home at like 2 o'clock in the morning. The wife and the kids are asleep. And the dog would come and greet me, and then I'd sit on one of the chairs. I'd go for emails, have a glass. It's like the best hour of any day.
You picture yourself, if you watch Layer Cake, the film, where there's that bit where Daniel Craig is like sitting on the sofa, big tumbler of whiskey, just relaxing as he thinks about his empire of narcotics. And there's a bit to that, just on your own.
Yeah.
Lovely glass.
I think that's got a common thing. Like when you sort of get into it first time, you do tend to just go to that nth degree to like, I fucking love whiskey. I'm going to tell everyone I love whiskey. And then you go, I'll rein this in a bit, I think.
Well, I just think with whiskey, and I know if young people are listening and everyone knows that drinking in moderation is fine, but don't go nuts. But I think with whiskey, everything about whiskey, I think, is proper cool. As in, there's so many different whiskies and there's so many different ways to make it.
Yep.
But not only that, it's an acquired taste, but just the glass you hold it in.
Yes.
It's not a big drink, but it can last a long time. And then what it goes, I absolutely adore cigars, right? And I've got a store below my desk here, and they just, just cigars and whiskey. It's like you can solve all the problems in the world if you sit down with a mate and you've got a really nice like Cohiba and you've got a great scotch in front of you, and it's just like
Duncan's eyes right now.
Yeah, I love a cigar as well. I have one a week.
Do you?
Yeah, usually with a coffee or a glass of whiskey.
Yeah, an espresso and a anything like I know Cohiba's top of the range, but
I've been like Key Dorsey, like the Epicures, like just
Epicure.
I only go for the finest Hamlets. Just
I mean, I'm not a cigar aficionado or whatever. Like, but we know people that are.
Yeah.
I have a humidor, and I like to have a cigar once a week, or certainly once every 2 weeks. I look forward to the spring when you can sit outside in the warmth and smoke them.
Yeah, but the price since COVID, the price has gone nuts.
Oh, it has. Yeah,
one of my favorite cigars was a Hoya, and it was. I mean, I wouldn't have this a lot. I'd have it maybe once every month or 2 months, but it was something like 68 quid. It would last about an hour and a half, right? Which is expensive.
It's a long time.
If I'm not going out on a Saturday night, I'd spend that anyway. But now there's like £90 the same cigar, and it's like
that's like a whole afternoon though. Like, I mean, you can smoke them for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Some of them. I mean, that's a lot of smoke time. I like ones that last kind of 30 to 40 minutes, often just long enough to like drop the kid off at ballet or whatever.
I'd be pulling
go to a coffee shop
and throwing up. I think
go to a coffee shop, order a coffee, sit down, smoke.
The cigar's like the whiskey. If you've never had a great cigar, if you've never had a great whiskey, you might have had a bad experience with a whiskey and thought this is cheap shit. I'm never going near whiskey, but you haven't really tasted a good whiskey, right?
Yeah. It's like I remember like the first time I tried cigars, it was at a wedding, and I was just like, inhale it, and I was like, oh my fucking God. Like, what are you doing? What are you fucking doing? And I was like, oh, right, okay. You don't inhale it? They're like, no, just keep it in your mouth. And okay.
So what was it when you got more into whiskey and stuff? What kind of bottles were you buying and drinking then? Like,
you sound like my shrink. What were you drinking?
Yeah, what were you drinking?
What was I drinking? I went straight into Dalmore.
Yeah.
And I tried the cigar malt, and I tried which of course was I like cigars, but then I just tried the normal 12-year-old. I was having quite a lot because it was just it's like honey, it's like syrup. It's such a beautiful soft drink and really easy, which is a danger.
Yeah, we know the guys at Dalmore. They'll love the fact that you're shouting them out.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah.
Well, my favourite. You're going to ask me later if I'm stuck on a desert island, what bottle I'd take with me. So it might change, but at the moment it's King Alexander III, which is.
Oh, there you go.
That is a lovely dram. I've
got
samples of that before, and that's.
So I was having that, and then I would just get into different whiskies. I would try Macallan's one of my favourite drinks ever.
Yeah.
I would have. This is called all the Glens. I love any Glen. My father-in-law used to drink a lot of Glenmorangie. I love Glenfarclas. Glenfiddich, I'm a big fan of as well. So I'll just sort of rotate, but I could never get into. I tried. Is it Hibiki, the Asian whiskey?
Hibiki, yeah.
Yeah.
I like to think that I can drink quite a lot of whiskey. Okay, so I've done many a time. I say many, maybe 4 or 5 times. I've done a bottle of whiskey in one night with a mate.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And I wake up in the morning and I'm okay. If I did a bottle of white wine, I'd be in pieces.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, it's different how it affects your head, isn't it?
Totally.
Funny like that, yeah.
I think I did a night on Hibiki, so I must have had no more than 5 singles. I don't think it was that many, but I'm going to say 5. And I woke up in the morning and it was like my head had been hit with a sledgehammer.
Oh, really?
All right, different Japanese whiskey.
Yeah. Because I've heard they make it differently. They make it with lots of chemicals. It's not a waiting game.
Most of it is actually Scotch.
Well, not Hibiki.
Hibiki used to be, wasn't it?
No, it was it's Suntory with their blend brands, which is basically all Scotch. What's the one called?
Ben Nevis.
Yeah, no, Ben Nevis, but the one that they Nika in the barrel. That's basically Ben.
Yeah,
that's basically
sorry,
Ben.
I'm getting confused.
It actually got to the point where Japan had to change the laws because Japanese makers of whiskey were just using loads of Scotch and repackaging it.
Yeah,
but like Takushu, Hibiki,
sent to Japan.
Yeah, I mean, Hibiki is blended whiskey.
Stuck a bit of Japanese in there and then sell it back to us for fucking 4 times the cost.
Wow.
And also, if you think about it, Andy, it's going 12,000 miles to Japan and then coming 12,000 miles back. That's a long round trip to get Scotch back to people with a Japanese label on.
That is, right?
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Is that really what they were doing?
Yeah. They'd still do it now.
Still going on.
Nika actually own they own Ben Nevis distillery, and they ship most of a lot of Ben Nevis over to Japan to package up in blends. Yeah,
I'll tell you what, because you're editing this, let me I've just thought, because I used to get a lot of my whiskey from Amazon. Yeah. Right. So if I go into Amazon and sales, previous buys, I can tell you what they are, and I'll just type whiskey in there. So I used to get, there's going to be loads fucking come up. Right. So these are the whiskies. Okay. Fucking hell. So Glen is it Dronach?
Glendronach.
Okay.
Oh,
I absolutely,
Glendronach,
I fucking love Glendronach. Amazing whiskey.
This is how it goes. 12-year-old. Nicker coffee grain.
Yeah.
Glenfiddich 15. I'm going to spell this one. Bruich
Ladder.
Bruichladdich.
Bruichladdich. Glenfiddich 15. Nicker coffee again.
Shit, you love that Nika coffee.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Goes well
Downward
with
12,
the coffee.
Nicker coffee. Downward 12. Glenfiddich 15. Glen Scotia 15.
Yes.
Yeah, nice.
Dalmore King Alexander III. Glenfiddich 15. Dalmore 12. Glenfiddich Project Double X Single Malt.
A few moments later.
Fucking hell. Glenfiddich 15. Dalmore 12. Macallan 12. Glenfiddich 15. Dalmore 12. Macallan 12-year-old double cast. Dalmore 12. Glenfarclas 25-year-old. Get it.
Oh.
Dalmore
Hopefully
15.
before it went up in price.
That was after the fucking Glenfiddich. He's like, yeah, fuck it.
These are all late at night orders, right?
Oh, yeah, of course, because you have a couple of drinks go, do you know what, I'm going to order some more. Yeah.
Macduff 14-year-old. You ever had that?
I mean, Macduff, yeah, loads of Macduff, but whether I had the 14-year-old or not. We drink a lot of single cask stuff, don't we, Mike, really?
Yeah.
I mean, it goes Macallan double cask gold, Glenfiddich 15. I mean, look, I don't know if you can see, but it's quite worrying. Hold on.
Well, that's not bad for April 2024. Tell us about May.
Tomerton, 15-year-old.
Yes, Martin, yeah. I mean, other than Nika coffee grain, which you're alive, you tried quite a bunch there, haven't you? So
yeah.
I'm glad you got over the Nicker coffee addiction. That was a good one to kick.
I really like that, you know. I don't know why, but maybe it's just quite. I can't remember.
There's some really good blends at the moment. So like the Thompson 6-year-old is an incredible blend for about 31, 32 quid. Also, if you like your Macallan, there's, I don't know if you still get it, but there's one called Speyside M from Signatory, 100 proof. It's about 45 quid, and it's Macallan 13-year-old at 57.1%. And it's got all the coffee notes in it and all the chocolate notes in it, and it's like 45 quid. I bought about 5-6 bottles. I mean,
if it had official Macallan on it, you're talking fucking.
it doesn't matter if you're drinking at home, it doesn't matter. You know, it's still.
Someone bought me, a friend of mine who's a whiskey fan, bought me a whiskey for Christmas. Can I go and get it? And you can sing because it is so. I can't go near it. It's too powerful. Let me bring it in.
A few moments later.
It would be nice if you just saw the bottle and you went, yeah, I know it.
Oh yeah, Optimal, yeah.
Yeah,
right.
prophetic.
Now this is something mental. Like
it's like one of the highest levels of peat pre sort of distillation that you can get.
Very heavily peated.
Now I'm not a peaty fan whatsoever. How am I meant to drink that? Because he said put a dab. I don't take ice in whiskey. I don't put any water in it. How am I meant to drink that? Surely not neat.
You could chuck literally a couple of drops of water.
Can I be outrageous?
From a teaspoon.
Yeah.
What I would do is I would make an old fashioned with it to put some sweetness into it. So I'd make it like into a cocktail. I'd throw in a couple of large ice cubes, make an old fashioned, but use that and maybe like a shot of that and a shot of something else like the Nika coffee grain or whatever. And then I put in a bit of like sugar syrup or, you know, like you make an old fashioned, because peated old fashions are really good.
Okay.
And it'll be really interesting and it'll really dial back that peat. So I'd use a shot of something like else you like that, like Glenfiddich 15, a shot of that.
What in it? You'd mix them?
No, I'd make an old fashioned, like a cocktail.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay.
Because if you don't like it, but you might find if you have it in a cocktail with some ice, like an old fashioned, basically make it using it. Because usually when you make an old fashioned, you'll have 2 shots, a bit of sugar syrup or honey or whatever, and maybe some orange bitters or something like that.
Yeah.
So I would just do it and I'd put a shot of that in and a shot of something else from your cupboard, like maybe lower ABV. So it brings the strength down a bit as well, and mix it up. And peated old fashions, when you sweeten them up a bit, people who don't like peated whiskey are much more likely to drink it in a cocktail, basically.
Okay. I'm fucking disgusted. I would be chucking in a teaspoon of water and do the attrition game again.
Force yourself.
Just go, force it. 10 days fucking solid. Then you go, actually, that's really nice. Do you know what? I've done it once, I'll do it again.
I like Mike's version, I'll be honest. It won't beat me.
Exactly that, yeah.
If you drink it for your eye, it speeds up the process. The fact.
Yeah. Drink it like it's fucking hot tea. Just a tiny, like, little sip, and a bit of water. Like I remember when I first got into whiskey, I'd have I go, oh yeah, can I have 2 ice cubes? Like you look at that, but like you pretentious fucking prick, and you knew nothing. Like literally knew nothing. So just
Okay.
over time, you might.
Let me ask you then. I'm so glad. I'm very excited about talking whiskey to you. So I don't go near ice cubes whatsoever. What do you make of those those
stones?
the cold
Oh,
stone.
the worst thing in the world.
Fine.
You're gonna chip your teeth.
Gonna
They're
wreck
dangerous.
your teeth.
We think they're actually better for because they basically just soak up the temperature. So I think they're probably better at keeping stuff warm than cold. They're shit. You put them in your glass, it's immediately warm. You drink it, it hits your teeth.
Yeah,
It's the worst idea ever.
different with ice with the whiskey stones. When you're cooling it down, you're basically you're gonna get more off it if it's warmer. And those
If it's a good
stones
whiskey, you
just
don't want to chill it. Yeah.
bring it down a bit.
And what about people that say the correct way to drink a whiskey, which I don't agree with, is to put your finger in a glass of water, take it out, and then let the water just drip into the whiskey?
Well, it's Richard. That's Richard
So
Patson, isn't it?
fuck off.
That's Richard Patson. That's the guy who does hello.
Yeah.
How are you?
Take a glass, swirl it, throw it away.
That's right.
You just got a person next to you like, fuck off, mate. What you did?
He's the most famous showman in whiskey.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that how we say bollocks?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, kind of a bit. I mean, where he's right is that if you want to get to know a whiskey, you definitely should have it in the right kind of glass, and you should bring it to your nose and take it away. Because if you hold your nose in it, you sort of just lose the ability to sort of smell what's going on.
And you have to say, hello, how are you?
But the finger in the water stuff is ridiculous. I mean,
Yeah.
just pour a bit of water in it. Just use a teaspoon and
Because realistically, when you've got something that strong, if you think about that thing is 60%, you could add a little bit of water. It's going to take it down to maybe 50%. You could add a little bit more in a second glass, and you've got one at 40%. You've got 3 potentially different whiskies. They're going to taste different. They're going to smell different because of the amount of water.
And sometimes it makes it taste better, and sometimes it makes it taste worse. So it's really, I mean, actually, if you think about it, if you've got 60% and you poured yourself a double, you'd have to put another shot of water in to make it 40%. So if you put 50 mils of whiskey or 60%, you'd have to put another 25 mils in to make it 40%. So you have to put in a lot of water to bring the ABV down.
But basically, fucking attrition, just keep going with it. You've done it once, you'll do it again. I like
Do you know what? Sweet peat might be better. Like if you get like a Lagavulin Distiller's Edition at 43%, that's a good way to get into peat.
Yeah.
Because it's sweet peat. It's Pedro Jimenez.
Pedro Jimenez.
The sort of
City tried to sign in, didn't they?
they try to sign everyone these days.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. But we're back on it now, so
Before the point deduction comes, although you apparently said it's not coming.
there's no chance they're
Told
going to
he's
point
not
deduction.
coming. Yeah. I mean, what do I know, right? Bloke in the pub and all that nonsense. But
Yeah, but
they had a win last week, didn't they, City?
Yeah.
I wonder if it's like,
Mamouche scored like a
do you reckon
hat-trick.
they've been told you're in the clear and everyone's just gone, thank fuck for that. I can stick around and focus now and stop fucking thinking about it.
I just, I don't know if you saw last week, it was announced, I think it was on Friday, that the Premier League were wrong to suggest that they couldn't do the sponsorship deals that they wanted to do. You can't just say our car park's going to be sponsored by X, Y, and Z for 40 million. And,
Yeah. And selling
League-
tickets to people, giving tickets away and saying the value of them is like $1,000 a ticket or whatever, and give them to schools and stuff.
Were they doing that as well?
Oh, yeah.
Apparently.
Oh, okay. Well, the fact that the Premier League lost that in court, I think, is the first step to Man City being cleared of everything.
I almost guarantee that fucking the Premier League have got such shit solicitors that they're going to fuck it up in comparison to the clubs anyway. Full stops in the wrong place, whole thing's kicked out. You fucked it.
I'm guessing Man City have spent a few quid on their solicitors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
They wouldn't go cheap, would they? It's not the local guy down the,
No.
in the village they live in, is it?
Just fucking Rolexes turning up at the their houses.
Whilst we're having a roundabout City, I'm a United fan as well.
Allegedly. If
Well,
they get relegated, I guarantee he won't fucking be there next season.
he loves to give me a hard time. He also likes to say I'm from Essex. I'm not.
Mike, who's your team?
Cardiff.
Oh, I thought we were talking football. Sorry, my mistake.
Yeah. No, I know. I celebrate fucking draws. I'm happy. I don't care.
Oh, yeah. So do I at the moment.
Yeah, that was painful, wasn't it, against Spurs? So
Yeah, but I saw it coming, right? I talked about it on Friday's show. I said we'd lose. I
listened.
lose.
Yeah.
We've got Everton away next, which we'll lose. And then we've got Ipswich at home, which we'll probably draw.
Yeah.
this is like the Messiah when he comes into these teams like West Ham, Everton. He just comes in and just
But this is what I talked about this on today's show. Like, where's that new manager bounce?
we
Everton
haven't had it.
David Moyes, right? Unai Emery did it at Aston Villa.
Yeah.
The list goes on. Where's Ruben Amorim's bounce?
Amorim job, as I like to call him. He is struggling. He's struggling big time.
Somehow shoehorn that in. Ruben Amorim's job. Sure,
I'm rim job.
sure, I can somehow, yeah.
Him sitting on the bench, basically with his head in his hands type stuff. There's just too many clips of that. He looks defeated. And I think if he really thinks that he can't do better with that squad, then
Fuck him off.
just accept it. Just play the young players and just say season's a write-off.
Yeah.
We're going to play a whole different team. It's shit anyway. We're going to avoid relegation and we're going to build for next season. Stop sticking out the best team, which is terrible, playing terrible tactics, and then looking depressed on the sideline, right? That's all I'm asking. But hey, what do I care?
Well, the three at the back is baffling me, you know.
Yeah.
Without sort of trying to sound like what's what I'm looking for, making it obvious. But I talked about this a few weeks ago. It's like he's gone into a scrap metal yard and he's seen in the corner the remains of a full Fiesta and thought, I'm going to build a Ferrari with that.
Yeah.
And you can't.
We'll make it work. Yeah, we'll make it work.
Just build the Fiesta, get the engine on, right? And then over the course of next year, get new wheels, get a new steering wheel, get new seats, and then turn it into the Ferrari. But it's just nuts. It's just
Cut and shut.
nuts.
Yeah, it's shocking, isn't it? And
Shouldn't
then
we
they're
be
just-
having this rant after we've had a whiskey?
Well,
I'm fucking loving this because it's irrelevant to me.
that's been said. What we should do is, do you want to, should we pour the whiskies first? Let's get the whiskies poured and then do what's been in your glass.
Go with the Jamesons first.
Okay.
Get that in a glass. Basically, just to give you a rundown of that one. So normal Jamesons, pretty fucking dog shit. Generally, it's a shooting drink. No one sort of drinks it seriously. But that one is 46%, so 6% higher than your normal stuff. And they've actually put a bit of thought into what casks they've got. So they've got ex-bourbon, ex-sherry, brand new American oak, European and Irish. So it's like a whole load of flavors going on. So it should be the next level up in terms of a Jameson. So when you have a nose, hopefully just a little bit different from what you're expecting for a dog shit Jameson's.
Yeah, Jameson's does remind me of someone that would buy a whiskey when you go around to their house just because they've gone into the shop and they've gone, I need a whiskey. And they've gone,
He likes whiskey. What whiskey we get? I don't know. Get him Jameson's.
Yeah. Can I have a little taste now?
Of course, can
Yeah,
you?
go
Don't
for it,
it. I'm just
We should have a
interested to see if you
cheers
sort
as
of...
well.
Yeah. Cheers.
I'll give you
Just
cheers.
I'm going to
Whiskey.
cheers my glass.
Cheers, Andy. Thanks
Do you
for coming
know
on the
what?
pod.
Cheers. Thanks for asking me on the podcast. Do you know what? That's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, actually.
Yeah. So triple distilled is probably less complex than you would get a Scotch. You've still got quite a lot going on. Where they've used Irish casks, that's probably going to add a little bit of spice, which is what some people sort of don't like, which you get in European oak and British oak and Irish oak. So everything else should be like biscuity and vanilla and caramelly. In comparison to the normal one, what do we reckon?
Yeah, that it goes down quite easy, actually.
Yeah.
You know, like when you watch a movie and someone has a whiskey and they make that whiskey face, which no one really does.
Yeah.
Usually a normal Jameson's will make me make that face.
Yeah.
But
They do that little flinch, don't they? You're right. Yeah.
That's going to cure my day.
They used to do it a lot in cowboy films, like westerns and stuff, and you don't see it as much these days. Which is
no, that, I'm guessing. Oh no, well, I was going to say it was more of a bourbon, but it's probably not, right? It's probably whiskey back in the cowboy days.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I was going to say with that one, 45 quid. Generally, you'll pick it up on offer on
what I've
Amazon
just
for
had?
less. Yep, 45 quid.
See, I could get a 12-year-old Glen for less than that, couldn't I?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, some of them,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Irish generally a little bit more expensive.
Just
because
to ask, do they still make? I'm showing my age now, but when I was a kid growing up, and you won Manager of the Year or month, it would be the Bell's Scotch Whiskey Manager of the Month. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Do they still make Bells?
They do still make
Yeah.
bells, propping up that bottom shelf. I think it's probably
it?
like 12 quid a bottle.
Is
But
it
some
really
people like won't drink anything else, like old Scottish lads.
Bells is sort of competing with sort of Johnny Walker Red Label and Famous Grouse.
Yeah,
These
see,
types of
the Johnny Glad of
teachers.
Water after that.
of course, can you? Yeah.
The Johnny Walker, I've never ever been able to get into. Even like, is it the blue label and the red label? Someone bought me a bottle of that, and I just thought, okay, if it's going to be top one, maybe I'll like. But it's quite peaty, right?
You've also say it's because of the peat in there, probably.
There's a little bit of peat
Lila.
smoke in there, but there's the green one, which is 15 years old as well, and there's like gold
Super
and
peated.
platinum. But generally, most people drink the red or the black.
Let me ask. Someone told me why. I don't know if this is true, but someone told me why some whiskies are peaty and some aren't. In fact, even saying it now, I think this is going to be bollocks. I don't even know if I want to ask you. Actually.
Go on.
Oh god, because we just
Just go down the road.
bad? We could just,
Maybe it's right. Although they told me it's because of the side of Scotland that the water they get is from, and sometimes it will be from one side where there's lots of stones and the water becomes quite rough and hard, and the other side where there isn't,
Yeah.
it's quite soft water that they pick up.
It's classic marketing bullshit.
Yeah, bullshit.
Is it?
Yeah. So basically, the peat levels come from when they're drying the malt. It's literally a case of if you just dry it using a gas or a normal flame, anything, you're not really going to get that peated thing. It's when they burn peat that's been dried out from the bogs.
You know, the peat bogs.
Creates that horrible, well, not horrible, like I love it, but for you, horrible taste, TCP and everything. It's because it's being used to burn, to dry it off.
But if we go a bit further than that, because you explained it really well, you've also got sort of the Isla peat, which is phenolic, which has some medicinal notes in it. And then you've got like the heather peat, like Highland Park,
Sweet.
where it's sweeter. And
See, now Highland Park wins all the awards, right?
Used to.
Oh, used to. Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
And so I was told that like proper. This is what I was told. Proper whiskey drinkers like peaty whiskey. Is that bollocks?
Bollocks. If you like,
yeah,
it
I think
raw.
that's nonsense as well.
Yeah.
I think
absolutely.
whiskey drinkers like proper whiskey drinkers like all types of whiskey.
I'd say a proper whiskey drinker is someone that's got the purchasing history of you. Oh, you're a proper whiskey drinker.
That's true.
That's a guarantee. Like,
Yeah.
You know, I didn't even get to the end of that. Fucking hell, that was so
It was
bad.
a few moments later.
Yeah,
Still going.
but again, just touching on the water point as well. When they say about, we've got the freshest water that comes down from the fucking glens, blah 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 blah. When it goes into distillation, it has to be basically chemically reduced, so there's nothing in it. Otherwise, it's going to break the stills. So it all goes in at exactly the same H2O chemically empty amount. It's only if someone then says so. After it's come off the stills and it's like 60%, say they add that local water to it to reduce it, that's where it can impact. But generally, they don't do that either because they can't trust what's in that water. So bullshit.
There's a big
Marketing
argument. If
bullshit.
you take like Bimber Distillery, which is in London,
Yeah.
they just use the London water,
Tap water.
tap water. And actually, there's a lot of places in Scotland use tap water, but obviously the Scottish tap water is of a better quality. Like Glasgow Distillery uses the local tap water, which is from the loch anyway.
Maybe they've got that Bear Grylls thing you got under your water thing.
Yeah, the water tooth.
Have you got one of them?
Yeah,
It's a game changer, but though Mike keeps taking the piss out of me. But
Fucking
honestly,
sound.
the water's so bad in London, and now it tastes
My missus
exactly
goes
as water should taste: crisp, fresh, no taste.
He's also though rung Duncan last week to offer him a share on Nigerian Palace.
If Bear Grylls is going to come round to my gaff, it's fine. It didn't take long to install; it was easy. It's totally
8
fine.
minutes. Yeah, I've seen the advert, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, honestly, the water's so bad here anyway. Like South Woodford, East London, right? It's right, East London, near Essex.
Yeah.
So
Essex.
bordering on Essex, one stop away. Yeah. So, guys, what's been in your glass and what's been up your ass this week? Andy, we'll start with you then.
Okay, I don't really understand the connotations behind what's been in my arse this week.
What's been in the week?
Has anyone ever answered that incorrectly? And you've gone, no, we didn't mean.
Yeah, Fabio has been straight up there. Well, actually, technically, last week it was my finger. We explained the poor quality of toilet roll you get in some offices and stuff. And yeah, single ply. Just
Yeah.
Do you remember when you were at school, you used to get tracing paper? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
that's what I've got to work at the moment. They've changed
Literal
it to save
tracing
money.
paper.
There was an incident.
Would you like to hear how bad my memory is talking to things that go up my arse? Would you like to hear that?
Yeah, you on, yeah.
I've got the worst. If you've heard this before, then stop me. But I've got the worst, not short term, but the worst memory out of anyone that I know or that I could remember. But what it is, it's a lack of wanting to remember stuff that I don't need to put into my brain. Okay?
Yeah.
So if it's a football fact, I know I need to. It stays in. If it's one of the names of my kids, I know I sort of need to know that, right? But if it's stuff that it's just so, we went to a friend of ours' house 6-8 months ago for dinner, and it was me and my wife and our friends. And then when we got there, they said, "Oh, here's 2 other people that you've never met before, but they're our friends, and 6 of us." Okay. And then he introduced me to the woman. Just say her name was Emma. I won't say her name, but I can't remember it. My wife went. She nudged me. She went, "That's Emma." And I went, "I know, you just said that." And she went, and I went, "Okay, yeah, whatever." So the 6 of us had a great evening. We got smashed on whatever it was, and we left there at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, got home. And my wife said the next day, "Good night." And I went, "Yeah." I said, "That woman looks so familiar." And she went, I said that to you. And I went, "No, you just said that's Emma."
It's Emma.
Yeah.
And I went, "Right." And she went, "Last Thursday, she gave you the prostate exam in the hospital." I swear on my life. And what's really bad about that is obviously, A, I didn't mean to make a mental note of the woman that was sticking her finger up my ass, but B, for the whole evening, she was probably thinking, Why has he not referenced this in any kind of joke?
Like that's
self-defense. Your body's going, this didn't happen.
That's
I
how
don't wanna know
memorable that
anything.
prostate exam was for you.
Yes, she was
Rubbish. Yeah.
Absolutely rubbish prostate.
I mean, she was waiting for me to say, you washed your hands, or
yeah.
I didn't recognise you from that angle, whatever, but I just made no reference.
She might have just been sitting there thinking you've had a lot of fingers up your ass.
Yeah.
That's also possible.
Oh, no, I have, but she didn't know that.
Oh, I fucking love it.
So what's been in my glass and what's been up my ass is what's got on my tits, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
What's been on my tits? Not a lot really bothers me. The two main things that bother me are people.
Yep.
And it's people that do things. So it's one which drives me absolutely insane, which happens all over the place, but because I'm walking through London every day, is people constantly on their mobile phone, on the move, but don't look up.
Yeah, walking into you. Walking into you.
Walking into me, or not being on the right side of an escalator, or dilly-dallying along a road, and they're getting you. Just get off your fucking telephone, put it in your pocket. The world won't change. And look at it when you get either to a seat or your office, or just fucking chuck it in the bin.
Yeah. Or put headphones in and listen to TalkSport. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's true.
Like free to download.
It's okay. It's okay to listen to it, I think, but you're right. Everyone just stares down it, don't they?
Yeah,
It drives me insane.
And it's a guarantee. If you're stuck behind someone slow, they put their phone away just as you're going to go round them, and they fucking turn into you, and you're like,
speed up.
oh.
Another one, again, it's to do with phones. Is people that take phone calls on speakerphone.
Oh,
do that and do that.
fuck.
Yeah.
What's wrong with putting it? Like, they think they're on The Apprentice.
Yeah.
They actually have a name. They actually have a phrase for that in Germany. It's got an actual phrase for people that hold the phone.
Vanker.
I don't know. I went French at the beginning of that. What's the phrase?
I don't know. I'd have to look it up. But I worked with a German guy, and he was telling us about it, but I can't remember the phrase. I mean, like you just said, you can't remember someone that examines your prostate, and I'm supposed to remember the German name for something specific to do with how you hold a phone as you walk around talking in it.
It's slightly different, right? One's probably a feeling you want to forget.
Yeah, that's true.
The one you're bringing up in a story. And go,
I'm just saying that they recognise it in Germany. It annoys the Germans as well, right? It's not just us.
It's a lot that annoys the Germans, but we won't go there.
Yeah.
And another one, this is probably the last one, is because I use the underground every day, and every single day someone in front of me will get to the ticket machine, and then they'll start looking for their ticket phone.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know that's coming. You know you've got a minute and a half, 2 minutes to get ready for that.
That's such a London thing. You get annoyed about that. I totally get that. I lived in London for years now, but you get annoyed about that. It's such a London thing. You haven't got time to wait for them. Just get it. Be ready.
Yeah. It's like when I go home, I am like, you're at such a different pace to everyone else. I'm like, even getting a coffee, I'm like, right, get my fucking way. What are you doing? Hurry up. You should know what you want. In, out. Come on. And he's like, oh, fucking be here.
I think, I don't know if it's because I'm getting older or because I live in London, but I've got a short fuse for people that take a long time to do something.
Yeah.
Like I've got my card that I need to get into TalkSport every day. Because I've had it for so long, it just disintegrated. And then so Friday, I said to them, I need a new card. And they're like, and the guy in reception was like, okay, what's your name? And I went, Andy. And he went, Andy. And I went, Goldstein. And he went, Goldstein. And I went, Goldstein. And he went, G-O-L, gold like the colour. And I was like, fucking hell.
Give me the fucking keyboard, you cunt.
I was like, look, you see that picture up there? No, I didn't say that.
You're like, mate, come on.
You should fucking.
You got somebody. You just pulled a random person off the street who was staring at their phone. They came in. Who am I? Tell him who I am.
Just there, going, look,
Google
see
it.
that up there, see that there? Paul Oxby.
If only. I don't know if that's because I'm getting older and I'm getting a shorter fuse, but
I think life's more everyone's busier these days. Life's more stressful. It just means we've all got shorter fuses. I see it all the time. People aren't as chilled out as they are. If you ever want a reminder of how people used to be, go and hang out with somebody who's retired now. He lived in London, and was working, who's now 70 to 80, and they're so chilled out. There was just a different pace. They didn't work in the afternoons, Andy. They were just finished. They finished at like 3 every day. Go to the pub.
I hardly work in the afternoon. Have you not heard of that?
Yeah.
I just think mobile phones. I've got 2 kids that are 16 and 13, and my little one comes down for breakfast, half asleep with her phone in her hand while she's eating.
Ugh,
and every time I'm like, put the phone on the table and eat. Don't. And like, what?
They're the most addictive things in the world, phones, aren't they? That's the problem.
Yeah,
but it's more addictive than booze, cigarettes.
Horrific. But the problem is,
gambling.
if you don't let her have her phone, she then misses out on everyone else's conversation and gets to school and it's like she's missed out on this, she's missed out on that, and it's horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Well, we've got that all to come. We've only got young kids at the moment.
How old are your kids?
Mine's 18 months. Tonsillitis, not eating, fucking killing me.
I got a 5 and a 1 year old. Yeah, we've got a 5 and a 1 year old.
You don't get sleep in the middle of the night?
Duncan's like old fashioned, isn't he? Yeah.
No, I mean, I changed a couple of nappies. It's fine.
What's your own?
2 per kid. Yeah. Like, fucking done.
I was much more hands-on than the first one. I do a lot of ferrying about and talking and making food. Things I do a lot of. Yeah.
Talking and making food for yourself, all right?
Yeah, actually, whilst you're talking about things that are annoying, right? The thing that's annoying.
Frozen croissants again.
Not the croissants. I mean, just the fact that, explain to Andy, in the mornings, we've got into the habit of like making frozen croissants. And I burnt my hand on a tray last week and I couldn't.
Sorry, hold on. You make a frozen croissant?
Like, you know, put a frozen croissant in the oven to heat them up so that they're ready, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and I just couldn't believe when I burnt my hand, which is my own fault, that I was in a situation where I was even making frozen croissants in the morning, cooking a frozen croissant to heat it up. Like we were just told we'd have toast or cereal and get on with it when we were younger. There was no croissants or all that kind of stuff. Anyway, what's been annoying me today specifically is I was thinking about it, and every time we're going to go somewhere to like a ballet lesson or to like a school club in half term, it's half term. I always get sent off with a tiny rucksack for a child. My child doesn't wear the tiny rucksack, so I always end up carrying it, and I don't know why. If I don't make time to stop and put it into a proper rucksack, so I wear it. So today I just didn't have enough hands, so I end up wearing this kid's sparkly silver rucksack on my back.
Yeah,
that's
your excuse, right?
Yeah,
it just looks ridiculous. And I was just thinking, we always go somewhere and we stuff all her stuff into this tiny rucksack that she never wears. Just put it in one of my normal size rucksacks. That's what's been annoying me.
I mean,
I need to make a change.
Sounds like you've got all the problems in the world, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. Right?
Fucking burning himself on croissants and small backpacks.
We've got new next door neighbours who they must be early 30s and their kids are like 4 and 1. And my kids are sort of, as I said, 16 and 13, so they're sort of done with looking after them. And we went in there when they moved in and one of them was climbing up the couch, the other one was banging it this and then, bent over trying to pick it up. And I'm just sitting there looking at my wife with a glass. We've both got a glass of wine going,
nah,
we've done all this.
Yeah,
we've done all it. Our kids, they're at home, they're watching telly, they're on the phone, their mates are going out late. It's like,
done.
Dumb.
No. Yeah. What's been fucking me off is your whiskey samples. Royal fucking Mail. I covered it on the last thing. So basically,
there was one thing you said. You went, they were meant to pick it up, but they didn't. And I'm like, didn't you just go to the post office?
No,
that's what I said to him, Andy. No. That's exactly what I said to him. He doesn't do that.
They're fucking shit. They didn't knock on my door and pick it up.
Yeah, collection is the thing that's going to fucking save them. They're so thick, they don't realise that's the one thing that's going to save the Royal Mail. Like the ability for a fucking postie. You pay same normal postage, but they will come to your house, pick up that parcel for you with a sticker, pop it on in the van, job done.
Yeah, but the problem with that is they won't be able to get there at 10:26. It will be between 10 and 4. No. And then you've got to fucking stay in for the whole day.
Yeah, but if you're at home, you're at home. You can do a window. But the problem is when your fucking postie is a lazy bastard and doesn't bother fucking coming to collect it when I can see him over the road, sack it off, go, not in, and fucking drove off. And I was like, I'm going to fucking kill him.
Yeah, but what did you do though, Mike?
So the next day I was prepped for him because I fucking rang up straight away like a dickhead. Oh, I'm not having this. Blah, blah. So rearranged collection for the next day. The motherfucker did exactly the same thing. And I'm not having it. So I dived in the car and fucking chased him. Blocked him in at his next delivery a couple of streets down. And I was like, oi, did you fucking forget something 2 days in a row? And he went, I was going to come back at the end of my shift. I went, what, like yesterday? Fuck off. Then...
You were going to come back even though you were outside my house.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
So I was fucking raging. So he basically scans it in front of me, disappears. And I was like, you're a fucking disgrace, mate. Go home, refresh. He didn't scan it, the wanker. He must have just pressed a button on the thing and sacked it off. So I was back on the phone again.
He doesn't, Mike, I'm telling you right now, he doesn't like you.
In your mailbox.
He didn't like you before, and now he hates you.
Yeah. If he can get up to my letterbox and take a shit, I'll be impressed.
He's got to your house, he's gone, that's that guy I don't like. I'm not doing it. I don't care.
I would imagine that if he was going to shit in your letterbox, he wouldn't climb up to the letterbox and pull his pants. He would probably find a way of getting the
bag or something,
and then I mean,
He'd find a way to move the poo from A to B. Yeah.
Yeah, didn't think of that one.
can I ask? Can we crack another one open?
Yeah, go for it.
So go for your Cotswolds next.
You go for your Cotswolds.
Hey. And we are 60.9% on this one.
Oh dear, that water's going to come in handy.
I'm going to say one word to you, lads.
Go on.
Baccarat.
Baccarat,
Do you know what that is?
as in gambling game.
No.
Or bird.
I'm disappointed in both of you lads for not knowing that. Apparently, is the best whiskey glass you can buy.
Right, that's a type of tumbler. Okay.
Ah.
A whiskey one.
Yeah, it looks good. Looks nice.
No, it looks great. My agent bought me that for my birthday, and that's proper, boys.
Decent. Where'd you get Asda?
If you're going to smash this over, no. Right, tell me about this drink that I'm going to have.
So you are now on Cotswolds. You've had it before, you said?
Yes, I have.
So English whiskey, 60.5%. That is the Founder's Choice, which is an ex-USA red wine.
I think I'm right in saying they use bourbon barrels for this.
That one is not. That'll literally just be old wine casks
Okay.
that they've scraped all the edge of the wine barrels just so you're not getting that shit tannin stuff from the red wine.
Oh,
Burnt it again.
Jesus.
So the liquid goes into it, 60.9%. So it will take a little teaspoon of water if you wanted to.
I will
No
not come on your
chance.
podcast and
Yeah.
have water when we.
Fair enough. No judging here. I'm impressed.
We'll
but
finish with you having a glass of that Octomore that you've got.
yeah. Still, no.
Okay, we'll do that.
Fruity, loads of vanilla, cereal notes, and then for me,
really
it's on the
nice.
mouth, just like apple, cinnamon, really spicy, gingery. So although there's strong alcohol, I don't get that. That face.
That has got a kick and a half to it.
Yeah.
Although that's got the kick, I mean, obviously it's a better drink than the Jameson's, but I think I'd enjoy drinking this. What you don't want is a whiskey that just slides down and a bit like Dalmore. I can drink Dalmore like it's syrup. Though I like it, I look at my glass and it's empty and I have to refill it, and it goes a little bit too quick.
You pay for the privilege.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those ones, 60 quid for that bottle.
A bottle
That
of
one.
this?
Yeah.
Is that why you sent me a tiny little one?
Fuck.
Was it 11 or 12 mil he sent you? Just
That's really nice.
Yeah. Slightly different from some of their other bottlings. I love the.
What is that? What is the kick? Because it's not peaty, but what is that? How do you describe that?
So that could be from where they've reburnt those barrels.
Yeah.
Bit
It's like
char.
a bit of fresh char. So if you think of like if you have a bonfire or something the next day and you got that, you're cleaning up ashes, kind of that note rather than peat.
See, I'll be honest with you. Sometimes when I hear people talk about whiskey and they go, "It's a bit biscuity," and I can smell winter on a Tuesday afternoon. I'm like, I think you're talking shit now.
Yes.
I've never had a whiskey and tasted biscuit.
Irish
Irish whiskies are very
shortbread.
biscuity. Yeah. It sounds like you haven't drunk much Irish whiskey or not any of the sort of maybe better ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that Cotswolds for me just keeps going after you've finished drinking it.
Yeah,
You'll be tasting
totally.
new things for a couple of minutes. And
That's really. What are you drinking? You're both drinking.
I'm mirroring you. Duncan's diving into.
What have you got?
I've had a glass of the Bunnahabhain 12 cask strength, and now I'm drinking Redbreast Irish whiskey. It's Quattro Buddhas, and
That's one of the best Irish whiskies I've ever tasted.
you've got a Glenfarclas coming up, so I'm going to open a fresh bottle of this Glenfarclas, which is it's got a random cartoon on the front.
Yeah. Independent bottler, so not linked to the
Single cup.
distillery. They've bought a cask and they're bottling it themselves. So yeah.
I've got some samples on the desk as well.
And I'm sure you've been asked this loads of times on your podcast. Both of you, what is your favourite bottle of whiskey?
Actually, none of you actually really ever asked us that.
No.
You're probably the first person to ask. That's
My
big
all-time
question, Andy.
favourite
I know it
is
is. I know it
Loch
is.
Lomond. It's one of they've got loads of different sort of spirits that they make, or did whiskey spirits like a base. One of them is Inchmurin, super fruity. And there was one particular cask where they used as the yeast, they used Chardonnay wine yeast instead of normal yeast that they're doing. And it just made like a super fruity, like New York cheesecake type sort of taste. And I was like,
Oh my
fuck
God.
me. It was like, I think it was 55 quid for a bottle, a single cask, just one barrel of magic and all gone.
And can you still you can't get that now?
No, I've
No,
got
I
one
know.
bottle left, which I'm keeping 4. Yeah, for you. It's keeping for
Favourite,
you.
yes.
But
It
it
is
does.
good though. It is
It
good.
comes up on
Yeah.
auction now and again because some people have just because it wasn't an expensive bottle in the first
How
place.
much would it go for auction roughly?
Probably like it depends. I think someone picked one up the other day for like 60 odd, which is just not far off retail. But
Yeah.
then it depends, swings and roundabouts in terms of pricing for auctions.
What
So
would
it
you take
depends.
for yours that's behind you?
I wouldn't.
Well, you would. If I gave you £40 million, you'd take it, right?
All right, yeah.
Of course he would.
And now we'll come down. So
£5,000.
No, I'd take $1,000 as long as you opened it and fucking gave me a glass and we shared one. How's that?
£1,000?
Yeah.
You pay Andy. You pay him £1,000 and then you just pour it down the sink in front of you.
Smash it on the floor.
Yeah.
Say,
Knob.
Would you say 800 quid for it?
If I have 2 shots, maybe.
Does it get
It's
down to
not-
400, but you have the whole bottle? Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Andy, I've tried it. I don't think it says transcendent as Mike says, but you know, it's
Time and a place. I had
Time
it
and a
when I was
place.
in the distillery
Okay.
and we were raiding like
get that.
the head blenders collection, and that was the one. So yeah,
Okay.
easy for me. Dunk.
it's such a hard question. To clarify, I've definitely tried over 3,000 whiskies now. I find it a bit of an overwhelming question. I think sometimes it's more about when something really makes you kind of think. So you were talking about not really liking peat, and as you sort of learn about different types of peat, I remember there was a bottle of, I think it was like 4-year-old Ben Nevis from Carnmore, where it literally tasted of, completely tasted of smoky ribs, smoky pork ribs and like glazed honey, and realizing that a 4-year-old whiskey could taste that good and just taste exactly like pork ribs with, like honey glaze on it. But over the years, I'm a big fan of Tamdu. I was always banging on about it. Some of the best ones I've tried, maybe like some of the single casks that are a bit more kind of old school sherry type. Yeah, it could be. I mean, like, I've got a bottle of Glendronach 21 open at the moment, which is about 27, 28 years old. That's more a bit more of an old school
When you
sherry
say
profile.
open at the moment, how long has that been open for?
That one's only been open 2 weeks, but I mean, some bottles will be open a year and a half.
See, my bottles go. I
If-
open. And then
How many bottles have you got open? I've got about 30 open.
I've got
So-
about 200 open. Probably.
He has a lot open. I tend to keep a bunch not
until
open.
well, we've had it officially told us until it hits a third, they will happily sit in that bottle as long as the cork's good forever.
If
They're
I
not going to degrade.
bottles
So-
that take a bit more sort of thought. So, for example, we've got like Longer 18 open at the moment, or like Springbank 11, like local barley. Bottles that you need to sit with to enjoy a bit more. Like, you need to sit and enjoy a cigar. I won't smash those as much. I'll have bottles that are just smashable, that I just go through in between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's say, for example, that there's always sort of 20-ish bottles in the cupboard which are sort of going down a bit. And when it gets to the last third, I'll just drink it with a couple of friends, just finish it off or whatever on my own.
Yeah.
But the rest of them, they just go through. There's like cycling. So just like you bottles just come and go. I think I killed 4 bottles in the last week.
Do you both drink every single night?
No, not every night.
I'll probably have one a night.
I
Definitely.
drink every night, either a whiskey or I'd have a rosé.
Yeah. A rosé. Fucking hell.
Or both.
I've got a shout out to Alex, who listens to the podcast, who loves his rosé, big wine fan. He's going to love the fact that you like a glass of rosé.
I'll tell you, right? So we stumbled upon you have to check it out. Sainsbury's. I shouldn't tell you because everyone's going to go buy it, and then we won't able to. Sainsbury's do a rosé called something Ibiza or Ibiza something, right?
Yeah.
It's about £12 a bottle.
Mm.
I've opened it to many a mate and said, have a glass of this. I've only got one bottle. It's about £80. It's unbelievable. And they've had it and gone, fucking hell, it's unbelievable. And then I've gone £12 Sainsbury's.
Dickhead.
Right? Yeah.
He's just winding them up.
We must do, and this is terrible to say it, at least a bottle a night.
No, that's between 2. That'd be nothing.
I'm not saying I don't drink one night a week. Usually 5 or 6, probably days a week. But I try to have like one day off completely.
Every day, guaranteed at least one whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sort of calorie counting at the moment, to be honest, Andy. So I have to be a bit careful about.
But he's not reducing calories, he's just taking notes.
I'm going from about 100 kilograms to hopefully about 80, 83, 84. So I'm about 6 or 7 kgs into that. So
Just get on the Ozempic, you'll be fine, mate.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's fucking
I know
jabbing
people on
himself
that.
up.
I know people on that.
Yeah,
I
he's jabbing
can't
himself.
get my head around it.
Why?
Like, I don't know. I've not got a problem with it. It completely kills their appetite. They'd have no appetite left.
But
That's all.
I asked a mate of mine this, who's not on it, but he knows about it. And I went, does it kill your drinking appetite? And he said, yes.
Yeah.
And I went, well, then I
Oh,
can't go near
interested.
that. Because
You're thin though.
well, so thank you. So
Yeah.
I'm very much a man of sort of regimented days. So all my days are exactly the same. So I will drop my oldest off at school, and on the way back there's a gym, David Lloyd Gym, and I'll go in there every single day for an hour. That's my sort of by 10:30 or whenever it is 11, I'm done.
Yeah.
And that's what keeps me going. But I like booze, I like wine, I love whiskey. And so if I put on weight and then went on the Ozempic, the fact that it would take away my appetite, okay, fine. I don't know how bad it is, but I like food, but I'm guessing it just cuts it down rather than you must eat, right? Otherwise you're going to die. But the fact that I wouldn't be able to enjoy booze puts me a bit.
I think it just kills kind of your enjoy. So we only know one person that's on it like so far that's actually been honest about it, and they lost their appetite, and they also kind of lost their appetite for booze a bit, but then they started to be able to come back and drink wine. But you know, I like having a glass of whiskey so much. The idea that I wouldn't enjoy it, I couldn't really bear that. Yeah.
Here's the thing: when you drink, you get the munchies, right?
I've managed to quell that a bit. To be fair,
Have you?
Yeah, that's the one thing I've managed to get control of that.
And
I no longer have
about that. If you use the word quell, and I've heard for a long time in a sentence. Quell.
Let me get my quill while I quell over the.
What I am going to get is because Andy's drinking another tumbler, I'm just going to nip and get a proper tumbler from the cupboard, and I will be back with maybe one more whiskey as well. Give me a sec.
We'll quell it over.
What's fucking quell?
I've never heard anyone use the word quell. That's amazing.
No, he's rough and ready. Essex Londoner.
Oh no, cantaloupes. What I've done now is I've poured a 1996 25-year-old Ben Nevis in a refill sherry butt in a tumbler to go in the spirit of Andy.
Tumbler's coming back in now.
I've already fucking. We did that #Tumbler Club just to annoy all the fucking whiskey aficionados that only drink out of these things.
Should we go to the next one?
Yeah.
Go for it. So,
where do you want me to go?
You're on the Glen Farkless, one of the Glens.
Oh, okay, Glen.
Damn, that's good.
Now, this is a 20-year-old.
20 years old. One of 300 bottles.
Let me ask you this. When you send me these, whose bottle is it coming out of?
What do you mean? Oh, mine.
Oh, yeah, Mike sent it all from his own, yeah.
Oh, thanks, Mike. Oh, look, even the bottle.
That's nice.
It's a fucking lovely. So it was a special bottling for the Winter Whiskey Club. Or Whiskey Festival, sorry. It doesn't say what type of sherry it is, but every Glen Farkless is generally in sort of super heavy sherry, quite sulfury. But yeah, 20 years old, 53.5%.
Oh,
that one.
That smells unbelievable.
Yeah, that's quite a funky little sherry dram.
I think I tried that at the Lord Wargrave.
You would have.
Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it was quite a popular one. It said only 300 bottles, but it did do the rounds to like
God, that is
good bars.
That goes in smooth.
Yeah.
But then when it goes down, it's incredibly warm.
You boys are on Glen Farkless now, right?
Yep.
I'm going to open this then, and then I'll pour it, so at least I'm drinking the same distillery.
Buckets of raisins and stuff on there. The sulphur's not too bad for me, because normally Glen Farkless, like I said, it's got that weird eggy smell sometimes, but I'm not getting any of that. And that's basically where, when the sherry casks are basically cleaned in Spain, they use a sulfur candle to kill off the bacteria inside it, and sometimes it can just hang around in the barrel. It's a negative. It's a good thing in sherry, but it's a negative in whiskey, I think.
Cheers.
Cheers.
It's really nice.
So I've got to ask you, when we told a couple of mates that you're going to come on the pod. Thanks again for coming on the pod. One of my friends said, got to ask him about the time. No, because they listen to you as well. He said, you got to ask him about the time you thought you'd won a house.
Oh, yeah. Yes. So I did a show called Win Your Own Home. Again, this ties in nicely. This explains how bad my memory is. So I did a show called Win Your Own Home. So I presented the show called Win Your Own Home.
Yeah.
And we recorded 3 shows a day, 5 days a week for 2 weeks.
Right.
So for every show, I'm starting off by going, hello, well, it's called Win Your Own Home. Welcome to Win Your Own Home. Going into an ad break. That's it for part 1 of Win Your Own Home. Then we're coming out of that break. Welcome back to part 2 of Win Your Own Home. And at the end, that's all we've got time for Win Your Own Home. So I'm doing that 3 times a day, 5 days a week for 2 weeks. And at the end of the last record, someone that worked on the show said, I'll call you over the weekend and we'll work out a time where you can come in and do voiceover.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, cool. And then so that was a Friday evening, and then I went home, and then Saturday happened, and then I woke up Sunday morning and I had a voice note, and so I picked my phone up like that, and you have one new message, and the message went, "Hi, Andy, it's Claire from Win Your Own Home. Can you give me a call?" And I looked at my wife, and she went, "What's the matter?" And I went, "I think I've won a house." And she went, "What?" And I went, "Someone called me from Win Your Own." And I went, "Oh, no. Sorry. That's what I was doing last week."
Amazing.
But for 4 seconds, I'm like, fucking hell.
One house.
This is like moments like that is when you wish you had CCTV in every room of your house, just so you can catch your wife's face, just going, "What the
What are you fucking...
fuck have I married?"
Just the horror that you couldn't remember that in her face.
Because I didn't need to.
Yeah. They used to say that. Have you ever watched the Sherlock Holmes series? You know, like the mini series that was on BBC or whatever. Point is, he kind of says what you say, which he says in that. I know it's acting because it's a fictional show, but he says he doesn't have space in his head to remember all the pointless things in life. He only remembers things that really matter. That's what he says, right?
Exactly the same. I took my car to get an MOT, and I like running, so I thought it's about 3 miles, so I jogged home. And as I'm jogging up my road, I can see my driveway without my car, and my first thought was, "Fuck, my car's been nicked."
Someone stole your car. Oh my days.
Did you ring your missus? You would not believe it.
I forgot I was married.
Yeah. Wasn't even your house.
What's great about that is a lot of people, everyone I'm sort of friendly with knows my memory shit. So for argument's sake, a good friend of mine, her husband wasn't well, and I forgot to ask how her husband was, but they don't take offense.
Yeah.
Because they know. That I don't remember.
Yeah.
So if I don't remember a birthday or this is terrible.
What an excuse to get away with stuff.
This is
Just
I'm going to start saying this.
But my dad died. I remembered this, by the way. My dad died January just gone. Here you go. Genuine. I can't remember if it's 2 or 3 years, but my dad passed away, I think 3 years ago. Might have been 2, but 3. But on Saturday would have been his birthday. And my wife had to remind me, she went, "You should call your mum because, it's your dad's birthday." And I was like, "Oh, I did."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't need to remember that.
Exactly.
I mean, I should remember that, to be fair.
I like to blame concussions from rugby for my shit memory. I think that's just so I can get that case ready when the WRU gets sued.
If anyone on the pod ever mentions passing dads, we have to say is a cheers to all the dads.
Okay,
cheers to all the dads. Yeah,
that's nice.
Cheers.
Especially in whiskey, a lot of people's dads are very special to them because they usually sort of.
Yeah, you do. You find you go to the bottle to sort of. And this is awful to say it, but just have a break from life, right? And
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, yeah. I mean, most people have some sort of dad story around whiskey, with their dad at some point.
Yeah.
I think this is definitely Glenfarclas because it, as you said,
the one you've got.
Yeah, because it has that sort of eggy, custardy type note as well as the other sherry stuff going on. You're bang on in saying that.
I'm gonna pour another glass of that if that's all right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
it's really nice.
I thought that one would be up your
street. Should be, right?
I saw also. I mean, just asking about the whole podcast thing. I saw that you've got one that's with "We're Not Getting Any Younger."
Oh yeah, I should mention that
with Lisa Snowdon.
You were supposed to.
Yes.
You forgot.
Yes.
No, but I've asked you. I mean, because I've seen it. I'm going to have a little listen. So tell us a bit about that podcast then.
It's Lisa Snowdon's a really good mate of mine. She lives at the other end of my road, and so we've known each other for 7 or 8 years. And we thought we should do something together, so we decided to do a podcast about getting old. But it's the fun side of getting old, rather than just go, "Oh, I'm getting old." It's famous people coming on and talking about the first time they realised they were getting old, or maybe they don't feel they're getting old, or if they've had
those moments when you go, "Shit, I am getting old."
Yeah. How old are you both?
42.
41.
And I had to think about that because I thought I was 43, and that's a good sign of when you're getting old.
Yeah.
For the last year, I've said 43. And I worked it out the other day. And I went, I've gained a fucking year. I was like, I'm loving it. I've turned back time from stupidity.
Do you know how old I am?
No. I'm going to say.
We're supposed to guess here.
40, how old are your kids? 16, 48.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go for somewhere in the region, sort of 46, 47, maybe
fucking
40.
Split arse. Just going to end. Go
on. I am 40,
late 40s.
40?
41.
Fuck off.
What do you mean, fuck off? I mean, I'm a guest on your show, right?
Yeah, he does know. He knows, but he's forgotten. He's forgotten that you're a guest on the show. Yeah,
I will be 52 in June.
Right, so you're doing okay. You've got full mop of hair.
Look at the fashion.
Shape.
Can I let you into a secret?
Go on, turkey.
Don't say it's turkey.
What does that mean?
Like if you've had a hair job.
Of course he's not fucking Turkey.
You're in the world of football. They've all had hair jobs.
No. I've not got one grey hair. It's all real.
If anyone would have the contacts to know where to go and get a good hair job, it would be you, surely.
Trust me, this is 100% real. But in April or May, I will be bringing out my own wax.
No way.
Right. Do you know what? And actually, it used to be a case where I'd really like, yeah, but I just buy the same one every time now. So if you can get someone like, old fuddies like me to like switch, then you've got someone's buying your wax for the next 10, 15, 20 years.
I'm not sure I'm going to have enough left to use it at that point, but
I'm keeping it short these days, but there's
I like
pairs
it.
of
It's a
waxing.
nice, solid, like sort of clay appearance, like quite matte. I'm impressed.
Are you using your own wax now or clay?
I am using it.
Oh, right.
You like it?
Yeah, yeah.
Good hair.
To that.
Yeah.
Good
See,
hair.
but you've got a skinnier face than me. So you can get away with longer hair.
Well,
I'm
that's
gonna
going to
grow
my
my hair.
Ozempic, right? I might.
I asked them
where
where you can inject it, and they said you have to inject it into fat. And I was like,
See, here's the thing. What do you inject it into? Is it your arm or?
they put it anywhere like the stomach or something.
Your
like
missus.
that. I would be worried that
edit that out, Jesus.
I'd be worried that you'd have to be good at it, but apparently you don't. You just have to put it into a bit of a layer of fat.
Just think about this. The thought of injecting yourself.
I don't know if it bothers me. I
Oh
probably make a
my.
great skaghead, but I'm not. But I
Yeah.
don't think it really bothers me. It depends on how you are with needles, doesn't it?
I grew up in Wales and the boys were all fucking roidheads, so
Yeah.
it's more common practice
I've
from
definitely never
from
took
my
steroids.
part.
The thought. I mean, I genuinely don't know if you can't be like you've seen the film.
No, they put it in their stomach or in a layer of fat. They're not putting it into
Self behind your arm. Just
It's not sure. You don't need to find the vein or nothing like that.
No. They don't put it into their veins. Because Andy, I asked exactly the same question. I was like, "Where'd you put it? Do you have to put it in between your toes so people can't see it?" And they were like, "No."
Then you have to dive into a toilet and fucking.
Yeah, no. They said you just inject it into their stomach. So it's just.
Oh, if I didn't know it was that easy. I might get. Well, I'd probably waste away if I had it right. So
I gotta say,
Yeah.
you go to the gym for a fucking hour every day, you don't need it.
yeah, and also if it takes away your appetite for booze.
Yeah.
We should do Pudding Island drams in whilst we work through the last 2 drams as well.
Yes.
Over to Mike to explain it.
So the premise: Pudding Island drams. You are whisked away for 30
What's happened
days.
to your voice?
It's my professional voice. What I do for the same thing every fucking week. It's your
Well,
win at home voice.
He's like he's bipolar. He's basically our Kanye. Yeah, go on.
Okay.
So you're whisked away for 30 days to an island setting of your choosing. Could be tropical, could be like Scottish hell, could be anything you want. Whilst you're there, you get to take 1 whiskey with you, 1 dessert, and 1 album. And then you get to choose who is going to pick you up for the way home and how you're going to get home. So mode of transport.
Okay.
So no pressure.
I've got
Weird.
lots of questions here.
Go on. Let's go with your questions.
Why does it matter? Like, if you said what album you take, and I get it, it's the discussion point.
Yeah.
Why does it matter who picks you up?
That's just how it evolved, Andy. It's just
Yeah.
You've seen Castaway.
Yes.
Now, I've got a question about that movie. So he's away.
Tom Hanks.
He's away for 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, grows a beard.
Comes back to meet his old wife. She's not only married, but she's got 2 kids that are about 2.
Yeah, she got in straight away.
She didn't wait. She
Wasn't
did
a
not
wait,
wait
mate.
for him.
Was she
before he
already
left.
with somebody? That's the question. Yeah, I
That's my
think so.
concern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
What's
my-
better though, Castaway or Terminal? That's if you're going to be.
We haven't seen Terminal, to be fair.
Don't watch it.
It's
It is show.
See, the idea of a movie about a bloke in an airport.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, what can he do? Go to the washroom, right? Okay, get that.
Can you imagine Can you imagine the picture it and them going, "This is shit idea." And he goes, "Oh, we've got Tom Hanks to greet it. Okay, we'll make it any day.
Fucking done.
Let's get it done.
Fucking
Yeah,
done.
sign it off. What's the budget?"
I love
Yeah.
it. So yeah, no, it was just to see what people say, and it's
It
some
doesn't
people like
matter.
I said,
I mean, who can pick me up? Uber. It makes no difference, right?
but it could be alive, it could be dead. It'll bring out a special.
Oh, I see. It can be a
moment.
famous person.
Yeah.
it could be
Yeah,
anyone.
mine was Dave Grohl on a speedboat. I'm like, how fucking cool is that?
Somebody said
Yeah, but
they were going to come. They would come back on the what's that? The helicopter, like from.
Blue Thunder.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, where it lifts up the building. And he's like,
Oh my god! Someone said the Harrier Jumped, didn't they? From
yes,
someone said
that
so-
was Harry jumped out with
Yeah.
that, wasn't it?
which was in True Lies. So
True
it's
Lies.
big.
Yeah, I
Good
still
memory.
don't get what difference it makes who picks me up. I don't get that.
It's just
Doesn't.
it's gonna have to
No,
let it
but I
go.
don't think you thought it through, boys. You know what I mean?
We're
Like,
too far in now. It's
Too far
fucking
in.
done.
Because
okay.
you're going to an island somewhere, you've got how are you supposed to get back with the person that you've chosen if you haven't got a method of transport? I mean, you could just say teleport, I guess. I mean,
Okay, I'm going to finish off the
Glenn Varkles,
20-year-old. Yeah, I'm going to finish that off.
beautiful.
While you think of who?
What's
to
been
be
your
the one
favourite so
that-
far of the 3?
I don't honestly think that's any of your business. It will be the Glenfarclas.
Why?
It's magnificent. Why? Because that's a very good question. I find it really easy to drink. I still get the warmth of it after I've drunk it, and I enjoy it. It's just a really lovely drink.
You getting any like food memories triggering or anything?
No.
Nothing. No Christmas cakes or.
I've never
Tuesday
had
today.
any whiskey ever that's reminded me of any food ever.
So for you, it's more about the kind of the feel of it, whether it's sweet or savoury, that type of thing.
And
It's just
viscosity.
about how much I can drink.
Yes. I want super
So
strength
you know
and
it-
how much I can get through.
But you know it tastes good though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
You know,
It's good.
you know that bit.
Okay, so what's the first question about the island?
So, what type of island? If you had 30 days anywhere to choose, anywhere in the world, what type of island would you be on?
I
Is it
don't
like-
see the relevance of the island. I mean, it's hot. It needs to be hot.
Okay,
Yeah.
this is a tropical island.
Yeah.
There we go. Some people love fucking a little island in the Swiss
No,
mountains between
they're
about.
lying.
Someone said like
Someone said different to me. They're
thought it
fucking
was slightly
like-
warmer weather, basically. I mean, I thought
Yeah,
that
lots
was
of people
stretch.
have said like move island itself or move somewhere to somewhere
A
warmer.
lot of people like it sort of Scandinavian
Yeah,
backdrops as well.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go for. I've always wanted to go to Mauritius.
Oh, nice.
I
Yeah.
haven't. I just thought I'd say that because it sounded
Yeah.
fun.
Fine. That's what I'm going to edit in anyway. You've said it now. I've got a voice clip. You're fucked.
I would go somewhere hot.
Canvey Island, how about that? Little trip to Canvey Island, just
Yeah,
avoid the dog
Canvey
piss and the dog shit. You'll be fine.
On the Canvey Island. I would
Just stand there in the cold, shivering away.
An island that's hot and the water is transparent.
So like the Maldives or something then.
Perfect. There you go. Let's go with that. The Maldives.
Happy days.
So I'm in the Maldives.
You shut it down, kick all the people off because you're
All
important.
yours. You're on your own. You're fucking
Okay.
isolated, but you get dessert. What you're going to take with you?
Viennetta.
Oh,
Oh, I love a slice of Viennetta.
what type of
Classic.
Viennetta?
What do you mean? What type?
There's different types, isn't there? There's mint.
I mean, there's the classic is just vanilla, but you
Strawberry?
can get mint and strawberry. Yeah, I mean,
You could get
Oh,
Viennetta
look
mint.
at this. Yeah,
yeah, of course you can. Yeah.
Can I ask? This would be controversial. Can I have a little bit of both?
Yeah.
Probably.
Because you've asked.
I'm going to go half mint, half original.
Fair.
I love mint ice cream's great.
Solid choice.
I had a
Real-
mint aero today. I've not had that for about 22 years.
Probably won't be able to have it for too much longer. They seem to be discontinuing all the chocolate bars that have been favourites for some time. I'd stock up if I was you.
It's quite a generic statement.
I was going to say, based on fuck all, you've just made
The
that.
double decker gone.
Arrow's gone.
Double
decker.
deckers,
Shit.
double deckers are still around.
Yorkies.
Lions are still around. Yorkies are still around.
Toffee crisp.
Still around.
Amazing. Still around.
But your generic statement
Even.
was
Yeah.
they're
Yeah,
all going.
I probably saw it on social media or something. You know,
Yeah. It was shortly after the fucking water scam from Bear
I think
Grylls.
Donald Trump passed an executive order
I think I saw that.
Yes.
clamping down on there being too many chocolate bars. Too much.
Banning paper straws and getting rid of whispers. That's all he was
absolutely.
fucking. That's what got him elected.
I had a whisper last week. In
Gold or normal?
traditional.
Yeah.
In Talksport on the 14th floor, our canteen, they sell a lot of old school sweets like the Toffee Crisp, like Lion Bar,
Ooh.
the Whisper.
You should tell them to stock up because apparently they're
They're
going
going.
to disappear.
They're going.
They are. Listen, I'm not here to prove it, but slowly but surely they're disappearing.
I don't know if that's based on any kind of fact.
Yeah, because people don't buy them as much now. They've made them smaller.
Based on what? You've got.
Yeah, where are you getting your stats from, Trumpy?
I've seen stuff go. That's all I can say. It's emotional.
I've seen whispers
The ones-
explode.
But in all fairness, all the ones you said are still around and still purchasable, right?
Yeah. Name a
Topic.
chocolate that's
Haven't
not
seen the
around.
topic. Haven't seen the topic for a long time.
It's
I've
gone.
just given him an answer.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and name the 10 or 12 and there's still like 25.
You know
I'm
what
just
annoys
saying
me?
bit by bit they're getting rid of them.
When people talk about sweets you can't get, someone will say the word spangles.
Spangles?
Have you heard of that?
No.
Yeah, they're sort of starry shaped. When they starry shaped mini chocolates. No?
That was Starburst.
No, Starburst is something different.
No. Oh, fuck. They were the
Spangle
Milky
Cream.
Way company made.
What are
little circles.
spangles then?
Spangles.
I don't know. It's before my time, but people will always say spangles.
As long as they don't get rid of a double decker, I'll be fine.
Shit as sweet ever.
Can you name something else with nougat in it?
Snicker?
Pardon?
Snicker.
Snickers have nougat in it?
No.
Yeah. Around the peanuts.
Round your what?
I'm getting the sense you do like a chocolate bar because
I've
we've
got a
got
sweet tooth.
You've gone straight onto a hill. They're not getting rid of them. I've emotionally pushed the
Well,
button
no,
here.
you're not getting rid of them. I'm challenging your quote of they're all getting rid of.
And I'm saying I can't. I'm saying I can't back it up. I'll have to defer to your better judgment and say that it's not going to happen.
Just saying.
It's just a
fucking
feeling.
lying.
It's just a feeling. As I said, it could be social media that's
Kids
steering
are
that
listening.
direction. Karamak.
They're staying.
Karamak.
Matt.
What a shit sweet.
I'm just saying, right?
Still get them though.
Some
That
have
was a shit
disappeared.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not going to Google it because that's cheating. So it is
Don't
what it
do it.
is. Yeah. Right. So you
Time out.
did they did get rid of
Spiral.
Can I
That's
open
gone.
another one, by the way?
Ripple.
Yes. That's
Hang on.
Raz
Are
Ripple.
Ripple's still around? Are they gone?
Yeah, they're still about Ripple.
Yeah. Oh, fair enough.
Galaxy make them.
Are you on your
I've got two
Bunnahabhain?
left.
So what? Yeah. I'll go with the Bunnahabhain because I don't want to throw
Oh,
your
you're
Jack
leaving
Daniels in.
till last, for
Well,
fuck's
if you hate it, then I don't want to ruin your experience.
No, we'll
until
try
the
it.
end.
We'll try it. I heard a fact about Jack Daniels. It's obviously made in Kentucky, right?
Yeah.
And
No,
a dry-
Tennessee.
Tennessee. That's a dry
Tennessee.
state.
Yeah.
Is that true?
It's true. Once they've distilled it, they get all the old embers from their fires that they used to dry the corn and stuff, and then they pour the whiskey through it as like a filtration stage to take out sort of some harsher elements.
It tastes of bananas, Jack Daniels, doesn't it? But you've
I
got,
haven't had it for so long.
you've got like a single cast there or something like that, so it would be a bit better.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is your Bunnahabhain.
Bunnahabhain.
We say Bunnahabhain, but an easy way to remember it is like Bunnahabhain.
Can I be honest with you, boys?
Yes.
You've not sent me unbelievable whiskey, have you?
I'm going to say the Glenfarclas 20 was decent, but
Yeah, but it's one of those. We'll send him a good one, but the rest are shit.
hey, we might tease you into fucking the next episode where you've got to go head to head against
Andy,
Hawksbill.
I was going to say thank you and send you some whiskies afterwards if you're willing to let one more person know where you live. But I don't know now. I'm not sure.
You know what, boys? You can stick your whiskey.
It's not worth it to have Duncan at your fucking letterbox trying to shit in it.
Trying to figure out how I can do it at the time by climbing up.
Handstand.
Yeah.
I
I'd love to send you a couple of whiskies to try.
No, you don't have to. This is a pleasure.
I sent some to Paul actually post pods just to say thanks. Yeah.
Good ones.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I'll be honest, right? I like a present. Only send me a whiskey if it's a good whiskey.
Good whiskey. Yeah. got it,
Otherwise,
yeah.
just don't bother, lads.
Don't bother. Yeah. It's
All right.
Nothing.
Glenfiddich
off your-
15.
Nothing off your Amazon list.
It's got to be 18 or above.
Nicker coffee. I'm going to fucking send you 3 samples of Nicker coffee. Just
Fine.
off them.
Happy day.
I would like to see you try the Glendronach 21 to see how you rate that kind of 27, 20, 25, 26, 27-year-old classic profile sherry.
Because just to explain, although it says 21 on the bottle,
It's not.
Yeah.
they had like a pause in production. So for a few years they made nothing, but they still had to put out 21. So they were using older stock. So they were actually selling 26, 27-year-old whiskey
Wow.
for
Was
the
it
same
known
price.
at the time?
Not until probably after like 2 or 3 years of doing it, but they did it for like 7.
See, I heard, again, I don't know how true this is, that Macallum, I've got to get this right, is it a 15 and an 18 they do?
They do
They got more than
15, 18, 12.
Okay, I was told that the 15 and the 18 was so similar that people were only buying the 15, not the 18. So they discontinued the 15 so the 18s would sell and then brought back the 15s. Is that true?
It would make sense.
Sounds about right. But what you'll find with Macallan is like
They're robbing bastards.
they are very expensive for what they are, and they're slightly lower ABV.
They are. They really
The
are.
sort of perfect strength you want really for like drinking whiskey is maybe between 46 to sort of 50%. 40, 43 tastes a little thin when you got into your booze. You know,
Yeah.
it doesn't have as much flavour in the glass. Like
That's why the
biscuits that you
Bunnahabhain is 56.6. Push those boundaries.
have. Yeah.
Tell me about the one I'm drinking now.
So your Bunnahabhain, 12 years old. It's bottled at cask strength. It's an ex Oloroso sherry cask, so super fucking rich. Loads of
smell
like
the sherry.
dried fruits. Yeah.
Really can.
Just ginger, fucking loads going on in there.
It's
It's got a kick,
but you
but
get
it's a
that,
good kick.
you get that slight saltiness as well because it's Bunna, right? And there's that because it's by the sea, even though they take the casks in out and they can store them by the sea or somewhere else. But it usually has a very different profile to like your Speyside whiskey because it's the only Islay whiskey which is by standard core range, not peated. Yeah. So there's like 9 distilleries on Islay now. And Bunnahabhain is the only one which is
Okay, I've got
non-peated.
a bottle of this. Sort of, I'm halfway through it. I think it's the same one.
A few moments later.
I finished it last week.
Good, stupid.
Forgot that you finished it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I've got left. It's quite embarrassing. I've got a monkey shoulder in there.
Okay.
One of the best 40% blends, though.
Okay.
In all fairness. Yeah.
And I've got Carl Frampton's whiskey, which is really lovely. And I'm not just saying this because he's a mate of mine, but have you had Carl Frampton's whiskey?
No. Tell us about it. Shout out Carl Frampton.
Right. Okay. I'll tell you what it is. Right.
We do celebrity top drum sometimes, and we'll take one celeb's whiskey and put it against another celeb's whiskey.
I'm just googling it now. Hold on. It's really nice.
I didn't even know Carl Frampton had a whiskey.
It's called Stablemate.
Right. Okay.
And
That'd be
it's
good
quite cheap.
Yeah.
It's like £35 a bottle.
Yeah.
But it's I think for what it is, it's really, really lovely.
I can't believe you're bringing out your own hair wax.
Yeah.
By the way.
Would either of you two like to have in your hair Goldstein's paste?
As long as it's
Joking.
signed.
Is it matte?
Absolutely.
Is it matte?
Can be for the right money.
Yeah. I like a matte.
If
matte
he
hair
dehydrates
product.
himself for a week,
You're gonna have to go and like get hairdressers to use it, and then they like get it out, and then they go
Already happened.
make a ceremony of it. Are you already on it?
It's gonna be big, lads.
it's
Yeah.
gotta be big. Gotta be big.
You can. There's not that many hair waxes sort of stocked at supermarkets, really. So
No.
if you can get
And
in for all those 3 or 4,
There aren't any hair waxes where a sort of guy in the public eye will push it, right?
no. I feel like if anyone's going to be, it'd be like a George Clooney, but he doesn't seem to do hair wax.
Well,
He just does coffee.
Apparently, The Rock does it, but he's bald.
The Rock does everything.
It's for his pubes.
There is nothing The Rock is not selling.
Would you rather buy a hair product from The Rock or from me?
From you. I mean, to be fair, it depends who signed. If he
Yeah,
signed
if he was in the room and you're both trying to sell it to me, I'd probably pick The Rock.
Yeah.
If
But if he wasn't in the room, if we were both on Zoom,
there's zero chance I would buy The Rock's hair product unless he was in the room and it was awkward.
I actually think whilst we've been talking, my hair's got thicker.
I think you might be going. Do you know what I wondered for a point about making a natural hair stimulant. You know, like people put caffeine in shampoos and taking like coffee grounds and making some sort of like organic type hair type thing, which I didn't do it, to be honest, but like where
you made it hipster, didn't you?
People rub that kind of stuff into their hair because that can't be any different to the caffeine stuff they're sticking in shampoo. It's basically just a stimulant for your scalp, isn't it? Right. So
I need it.
But the coffee grounds are a bit messy. And, you know, I've got an actual business which needs my time rather than...
The amount of fucking shampoo I waste. I caught myself the other day. I was shampooing that part of my head where I used to have hair. And I still fucking like that. I'm working it into just my forehead or 5-head.
Would be quite have a look at Stephen Gerrard. He's got the lowest fringe. The lowest. What would that
He
be
does.
called?
He's got a tiny forehead.
Yeah, tiny forehead.
But those people with
Turkey
tiny
job.
foreheads, they're few and far between. We've got a family member who's like that, and he's got a bit of red Indian in him, and his forehead is like that. And he actually looks like a male version of Claire Balding, right? If that's...
I know someone.
Looks like Claire Balding.
He looks a bit like Claire Balding, yeah.
I know someone.
Like a younger version.
Hold on. I think we know the same person.
No, that's not even possible.
Hold on. I'm going to say the first name of that person that looks like Claire Balding. Okay?
Right.
If it's the same person, are you ready?
Am I supposed to say it at the same time?
No, I'll say it, and you,
Right.
I'll trust you.
Okay.
Is that person, because you're from an area near me, I'm not going to name it, but you're from, is that person called Mike?
No, he's called Richard.
Okay, fine.
But I'll happily send you. I picked 3 pictures of Claire Balding and 3 pictures of him in the same position.
Yeah.
And he's spitting. He just needed to dye his hair blonde because his hair's dark.
Okay.
But other than that, he should be Claire Balding's like son or whatever.
Very cool. Maybe we should compare the 2 men that look like Claire Balding. We do that.
100%.
Should we go on to the last one?
Yes. So you pour your Jack Daniels. I want to see your face.
And we
While
want to hear
you're there-
your album.
Album. You're on your island. What album are you taking with you?
Do you want me to pour it first?
Yeah,
Do what you want.
I'm really not looking forward to Jack Daniels. Is this a different blend of Jack Daniels or
So that is a single barrel. So literally, that's
is
come
this what I
straight.
get in a corner shop?
No.
No. So what you get in a corner shop is thousands and thousands of barrels from all over the place. The shit whiskey poured
Okay.
together, watered down, dog shit. That someone's gone through and gone, that barrel is decent. They've taken it. It's 64.5%.
Oh, wow.
So just bear that in mind.
Okay.
I think it's beautiful.
Do you?
Yeah. It shouldn't be anything like your Jack Daniels experience of thing, but the ABV does.
What's your instant reaction to that then?
No.
No.
It tastes of
I
preconceptions.
watched your face just shut down there and you went, no.
No, it just tastes of bourbon. It tastes of Jack Daniels. It tastes.
Do you know what? Take a stance. Just say you don't like bourbon. You know,
I don't like bourbon.
Or bourbon.
I tell you what,
Perry,
bourbon,
you
yeah.
hate
Sounds like
biscuits.
bourbon.
the
But
biscuit.
so what? So bourbon. Mike used to give me a hard time because I used to say bourbon. Obviously, it's bourbon.
How do you pronounce it?
Bourbon.
Burr.
But if you say bourbon, it's like the biscuits, isn't it? So
I don't like that. Yeah.
Starts a good fire. Get rid.
I'm glad you sent it to me because it's a talking point, right? And that's
absolutely. You can say you've tried even the posh Jack Daniels and you still hate it.
Yeah.
My thinking is, with so many great whiskies, why would you go for Jack Daniels?
Different
Different.
taste. Like,
I
that's
don't
just
think
so
I don't think
sweet.
either of you would ever go to a bar that had an array of whiskies and you would choose this over any other one.
Well, I've got a Blanton straight from the barrel sample here, and I would, if I go to like a pub and they've got like a selection of high, but then that's 150 quid versus maybe 50, 60 quid. So there's a difference in price as well, right?
But you know, like if you collected trainers, right? You might have 30 or 40 or 50 different sets of trainers.
Yeah.
And you might go, I've got a pair of Diodora.
Yeah.
But you're never going to wear them because you've got dual ones.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, you just something you don't think you
Got
drink.
them. But
Yeah.
I think that's probably better with a Coke and some ice, right?
Probably. I like it straight, but hey, I thought I'd
You
change your
wouldn't choose
mind.
that. Mike, you wouldn't choose that.
It depends. If I was in a bourbon,
Doesn't.
like an American bar, I would choose that.
You wouldn't. If that you in a
You
would
wouldn't.
not. If you
Jedi.
had this and 5 of any bottles behind you, you're not choosing this.
I like that bottle. I bought fucking loads of that one once I tasted it.
What, this one?
Yeah. I bought about 4
This
bottles
is
of that.
this is like an amazing Mexican standoff between
I
Mike
don't
and Andy.
believe
They're
you.
just going,
I don't believe
I don't believe you trying to have me on. And Mike's like, no, I actually love that
You know
bottle.
what I'm going to do? I'm going to pour this one back into the bottle. I'm going
Send
to
it
put a
back.
little blue tape around it and I'm going to fucking send it back to you.
Mike can then send you a video
I'll
of him
drink
drinking
it on
it.
camera. Yeah.
Doesn't believe you.
And I'm going to make
right.
sure it's not sealed correctly so it leaks over everyone.
Stick some. We said this. Stick some like that glitter in the envelope as well.
Oh.
Posting it back. It just really puts him off.
Glitter.
Yeah.
Right. Album. 30 Days. Island. One album. What's your favourite album?
Hold
of
on.
all
Before
time?
we do it, let me just take one glass of something that's nice. Hold on. In fact, that's gone. The 20-year-old's gone. What was the second one I liked?
Cotswolds. You
You
like
like the Cotswolds?
That was nice. Right, so what's the question? One album.
one album?
Yeah, an album you can listen to.
It would
30
be,
days.
this might be controversial, it would be The Master Plan by Oasis.
Decent.
I don't think that's controversial, is it?
No. Sorry.
Well, it's not an album as such. It's
It's the B-sides, wasn't it? But
yeah.
it's a compilation technically.
I
but-
don't know. I don't know what the answer to that question is. Is it an
B-sides
album
and rarities.
or is it a B-side collection?
It's a collection of tracks thrown together, basically.
I like it was released as an album, not as a compilation.
It's still technically an album. I like Deftones, B-sides and rarities. Like, that's not really an album they released. It's just a collection of tracks thrown together and then released.
Yeah.
But I like it. So
yeah. But
And obviously, you've now tasted all your whiskies. Has your opinion changed on what you take to the island, or are you still King Alexander?
I would take, yes, I would.
Jack
I would-
Daniels.
I would take lots of King Alexander III, yeah.
Excellent, fair enough, solid choice. And obviously, the most important question:
Yeah.
who's going to pick you up, and how are you going to get back? What mode of transport?
there's been a lot of deliberation about the mode of transport thing, but who would pick
know.
you up?
Who would pick me up?
Alive, dead,
Anyone.
anyone.
ever. But we're banning your missus because people that say your missus, it's
Fucking sell out.
And
you're going to see her anyway at some point.
How can I ask? So this is quite important. So I'm with this person for like 10 hours, right?
Yeah, it's a good point. Could be someone you can stand for that time.
Gary Shandling.
Who?
Gary Shandling would pick me up.
You up
He's an
there?
American comedian who's sadly passed away.
Okay.
Gary Shan. Ah,
I'm going for
excellent.
I'm going to go
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Gary Shandling
And why have you picked him?
because he did a show called The Larry Sanders Show.
Yeah, all right. Okay, yeah.
You're
what you
both
mean now.
familiar with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And it's one of the great shows. He was. I'm into my documentaries. There's a documentary, a 2-part called The Zen Diaries of Gary Shandling, and it's the only documentary that I've ever watched. And at the end, cried. It was mind blowing.
I haven't seen that. I'm just going to say it, but
should watch
it
it.
sounds
I
like a
love it.
good recommendation.
He's one of the greatest comedians that ever lived. He took comedy to another level. What they call it, like they broke the third
barrier, is it, or third wall, where you turn to the camera and you talk to the camera. What's that called?
Oh, okay. That the whole thing was the whole notion for Peep Show, basically, in a degree, sort of like not speaking, like that kind of like.
Yeah.
He
Out of that reality, talk to
Yeah.
the audience back in.
Yeah,
he's
like that. You do have comedians like that, the ones that sort of tick a big box. Like I like for example, not my favorite comedian, but Jerry Seinfeld was amazing for showing that you can have comedy without swearing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he was like the best at that, like telling family friendly jokes again and again that made you laugh, right?
So good.
So we all love The Office, right?
Yeah, of course.
So there's a lot of that has come from the Larry Tyler Show, which is a sort of mockumentary of behind the scenes of a chat show. Now, it'd never been done before. And if you watch the documentary, it's mind-blowing. He was a troubled soul. It's very deep and dark, but he's one of my favourite people that's ever walked the planet. So I would go with
Is that Netflix, Dobby? Prime, do you know?
I don't think it's Netflix. I think it was on Sky. Sky Atlantic did it.
Okay.
You might be able to get it on YouTube.
It's like,
these days.
yeah, maybe it's like 2.5 hours each. It's 2 episodes.
Ooh,
It's mind-blowing.
I'll give that a watch for sure. Like that.
And again, what mode of transport are you going to be? Is he going to be using?
Jetpack.
Jetpack.
No one said jetpack. Fair enough.
Is he right? Is he there in the jetpack and you're holding him face to face?
Well, you only get one between you. One between.
It would be, what's that thing called with the big sort of fan?
The water one.
Oh, they have them in Florida.
Yeah. Oh, they use
hovercraft.
I know what you mean. It has the big fan on the back, and they just charge around them, avoiding alligators and crocodiles or whatever.
Go for that.
Yeah,
it's nice.
Yeah.
Happy days.
Carve it out. All right, thanks for that. So you've gone for Oasis Master Plan, a bit of Viennetta,
Gary Shandling,
and
done.
hovercraft.
Yeah.
Right, sweet. And the whiskey was Dalmore, was it?
Dalmore, King Alexander.
King Alexander III.
Yeah.
Excellent.
What do you make of my choice of whiskey?
I'm not
respectable. I would say.
What I'm gonna say is I'm gonna send you some Tamdu. Okay, that's my answer to your question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you some
Is it
Tamdu.
expensive?
Yeah. Not as expensive as the Dalmore.
Well, I do have some that's pricier than the Dalmore that I could
Send
send
me
you.
that one.
Yeah.
Send me the good shit.
I'm gonna fucking do what you do to your mate with the Sainsbury's rosé and just send you something shit and tell you if it's expensive.
Here's the thing. I'm doing this for free, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my agent would say this should be about 10 grand.
Yeah.
So send me something in between the middle.
That's all right.
Andy,
Our bill for $1,000 is coming over, so we'll split it. It's fucking job done.
100% send you for whiskey after the pod. If you
Can I just say,
enjoy,
you don't need to send me anything. I've had a wonderful evening.
Oh no! But
I don't need anything.
we like to anyway. We really because
Well, you don't
because
need
we're
to.
yeah, but we're whiskey fans.
I know.
Like,
What I'm saying is, you don't need to, but if you're gonna make it
expensive. Yeah. So we should wrap this up before you have to jump off. So we'd just like to say, so for a start, if you listen to the pod, you like the pod, give us a 5-star review.
Yeah.
Feel free to share it on social media or whatever.
If anyone wants to find you online, Andy Goldstein, I'm going to say that's pretty bloody easy because everyone should know who you are. So you don't need to go into that.
Can I just also say,
go for it?
If you could have a look at my podcast with Lisa.
Yes.
Yep.
We're not getting any younger. That would be nice. And of course, drive time weekdays 4 till 7 on Talksport.
4 till 7, yeah.
Always.
I'm a big TalkSport fan generally, and I was saying to Mike before the pod, I also still listen to football on the radio when I go for a walk. Don't get me wrong, I watch some on TV as well.
Yeah.
I'm still somebody that really enjoys listening to it on the radio. And I also really enjoy listening to football analysis on the radio or podcasts or whatever. I'm all for it. I love the sort of medium, right? I think it's a beautiful thing.
Well,
I barely listen to any podcasts, including this one. But I'll give yours a listen because you
check it out and let me know.
Will do. If you like us, obviously you can follow us on honesttoamalt.com. We're on all social medias at honesttoamalt. You will find Duncan at Whiskey Tip. I'm on at Whiskey Wings, and we will catch you on the next one. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.
Quite posh.
What's the picture on his wall?
You can say it's fucking lovely and ask him where he gets it from, and he'll be so proud. Like, here he comes. Wait for the headphones to come on. Like,
and that's the type of artwork I'm looking for in my house. The one.
Just saying, behind you.
Where'd you get the artwork behind you? Where'd you get that from?
That's from Nepal. It's street art from Nepal. You know, above India, the country. Yeah, it's. I
thought you said fucking RuPaul, like the drag queen.
No, like the country. I don't know who painted it.
Yeah,
just a local
drag
street
queen
artist.
painted that picture, and it's now hanging.
I like it. So actually, I got that from my gran, and then when my gran passed away, you know, it ended up coming back to me. But I like it. It was
Looks
for
like
her.
Lion King.
Difficult when you tell a story and someone involved in the story is dead. It's very difficult.
I mean, she was old. She had to die. I mean, it's not like she wasn't like 20. I mean,
She wanted the painting back, and she was fucking.
and the police never worked out the motive.
Your nan's old, and she had to die.
Yeah.
She had to die.